It was the cold, rainy night of April 26th, 2025. I sat baffled, solemnly in my room as I pondered how Carlos Prates' awe-inducing walkout had ended in such a bitter defeat. Such a defeat coming from the hands of a man who holds no aura in comparison to Carlos Prates, that being the likes of Ian Gary. The contrast in these two men's auras actually enacted a thought in me. Almost in a sense of divine intervention, I was graced with the thought, a concept, a theory of the aura limit. As my research commenced, I fell upon a famous quote from renowned Greek philosopher Socrates, circa 420 BCE, in which he describes the aura limit as an invisible, inconceivable point in which a fighter breaches the allowed limit for aura, causing the powers that be to enact a devastating loss upon them. The results of matchups I once did not understand fell into place. Talbot Barcelos, Holloway Topuria, and most recently, Ian Gary versus Carlos Prates. Is it possible that rather than helping these fighters, the once beloved intangible aura has actually contributed to the degradation of their careers? That is the topic of discourse I would like to present to you today. I want to focus my discussion on three main topics. What exactly caused the inaction of the aura limit on these poor fighters? The state of aura among UFC champions, and fighters that I think are most likely to be affected by the aura limit in the future. Section 1. Too much aura. Peyton Talbot, an A1 class symptom of having too much aura. From his look, to his fighting style, to his dominant KOs inside the cage, Peyton Talbot commanded the attention of many audience members around the world, including myself. That dude's cool as hell, and his YouTube videos inspired me to start making content. On a separate note, he was just too cool, man. The UFC wouldn't allow us to have him. It wasn't written in the cards. He lost to Holloway Barcelos. I think he can make it back. But even with the whole Frank Ocean situation, there's sort of an aura to sexual ambiguity now these days, people. It's the 21st century. And I'm not saying I live by those values or I'm not critical of people in some situations, but Talbot is just, I don't know, dude. He's lightning in a bottle. He's innovation in its most clear example. He's an A1 example of having too much aura. He's sick. Those YouTube videos, man, I know I've already said it, they're incredible, to say the least. The cinematography, the message behind them, it's something that's inspired a lot of creative energy in many aspects of my life. Talbot's a good example of the negative effects of aura because he got moved up too quickly. He was a huge favorite over all these opponents, and he was having dominant performances, yes, but he clearly wasn't ready for a guy on Barcelos' level, and he hasn't had the regular route that a fighter takes climbing the rankings. Regardless, he's a sick fighter, he's a sick person. I think he has a future in the sport, but he is probably the most shining example of the aura limit imposing itself on MMA fighters. In a similar breath, Max Holloway and Carlos Prates suffered similar fates because of their breaching of the aura limit, man. What other explanation is there? Max Holloway is on the top of the world after Justin Gaethje KO, one of the most amazing moments we've ever seen inside the octagon. And he moves back down to fight Ilia Topuria and just gets completely knocked out cold for the first time. No, I'm not saying that I didn't see Max getting knocked out in this fight. I obviously know that Topuria holds a lot of power and anyone can be knocked out, but he had this unbreakable, unbeatable aura around him when he moved down to 145 to fight Ilia Topuria, and it just got completely shattered. Carlos Prates, he had no business walking out to that Rick Ross walkout, dude. He freaking sent shivers down my spine. He sent shivers down my spine with that walkout song. The thing is, with Ian Gary, he has so little aura that he was able to completely dodge any effects that Carlos Prates' aura would have on him. So he was able to have this cockroach-like performance, which he gained no aura from, by the way. That is the nature of someone with no aura. Even if they win, they earn no aura from the wins. So, I mean, these are clear and shining examples of, tell me I'm wrong. Tell me I'm fucking wrong, dude. Tell me I'm wrong. Tell me the aura limit doesn't exist. I'm going on a tangent here, but it's so clear to me. It's clear. There's something supernatural. There's something that exists outside the realm of normal thought, stopping these aura-ridden fighters of reaching the highest levels of the sport when they're peaking in their aura. We are yet to see what happens to these, I'm gonna put in quotation marks, aura farmers when they rebound from these devastating losses that they've taken. Hopefully we can see good success, and we won't completely doubt the ability of aura to assist fighters, because it's a funny talking point, and I think it's something that does have a little bit of weight to it. I think it does matter a little bit, your aura. You're obviously gonna have more fans, you're gonna feel more like the man, but it's sort of the quiet confidence that describes these aura farmers. If I'm gonna use that term, it's really a shame. It's a shame. I'd love to see these aura farmers succeed, but it's just clearly something that the MMA gods won't have happen. There's been too many shining examples. So with that, I think I'll move into the next section. Aura with its regards to the current UFC champions. So what I've got here is the current list of undisputed UFC champions inside the UFC, just for the main point of speaking being that none of these guys are aura farmers, dude. We've got none of these guys are peaking in their aura. None of them are near the aura limit. It's just it's more evidence of there being aura limit in the UFC. Primarily, I'll just go down the list. Pantoja, he doesn't have the aura yet, man. He hasn't got a how do you say he hasn't got he doesn't have a trademark finish. He's not very popular. He doesn't have any cold moments on the mic. Not that's the most important thing. It's just he doesn't have the aura. I don't think anybody would argue that. Merab, he's not a finishing guy. He's a grind you out kind of guy. Merab doesn't have aura, man. He has no aura. This is not a guy who is this is not a guy who has more aura than Peyton Talbot, dude. Peyton Talbot freaking 50-45s this dude in terms of aura. He 50-42s him, and I think that's just it exemplifies the difference in the aura between these people at the top of the sport and these people who aren't yet reaching similar heights. Volk, obviously, he lost a lot of his aura when he had the back-to-back losses to Islam Makhachev and Ilia Topuria. Even if you want to count Ilia Topuria as the champion in this context, he's a smart guy. He's a smirky smart guy. There's no debating it. He's kind of a smart guy. Obviously, I think Ilia is the closest one to usurping the aura limit, as I've put it in terms, but I think he's too much of a smart guy. He's a little bit, he's like an annoying kind of guy. He's not like a cold stone kind of guy, even though he's got the look. He definitely is set up for aura. I don't feel like he has this similar aura to these guys. He's more of a, like I said, he's a smart guy. He's in his fifth language speaking English. He can crack a few jokes, but he's got a squeaky pipsqueak voice, dude. He's got a squeaky pipsqueak voice. There's no other way around it. So that is why I would say Ilia Topuria isn't nearing the aura limit like others are, like Peyton Talbot is nearing. I say people who've passed the aura limit. He's not. He's there. He's obviously the most skilled. He has the champion aura, but he doesn't have. It's not the same. It isn't the same. It isn't. Moving up weights, Islam. He's another smirky guy, brother. This guy not serious. This guy zero, brother. This guy, he doesn't. he's too much of a smirky smirk. You see too many pictures of Islam Makhachev, too many funny clips of Islam, too many smirky smirk moments where he's freaking mouth agape, sitting next to Khabib outside the cage. It's just it's subtracted from his aura. Even though he's a finisher, even though he's a powerful guy, even though he has a lot of aura, he's too much of a smirky smirk guy, brother. He's too much smirky guy. So I think that I think the smirky smirk guys, it's not conducive to having the most effective aura, at least if I'm the judge. So clearly the MMA gods have seen that he doesn't have enough aura, even though I think Ilya Taporia or JDM is coming to put this guy down a peg. I think I'm going to put him down a peg, but either way, that's not the point of this video. I think Islam, he's too much smirky brother guy. That's why he's not Ultimate Aura. Bilal, obviously this dude has zero aura. Come on. This guy, Mr. Control Time guy, Mr. Smirky guy. No, he's not smirky. Bilal's not smirky because he's like, English is his first language. He's not a smirky guy at all. He's like I don't know. He's funny. He's definitely a cool guy. I like Bilal Muhammad. He's just not. He doesn't have the aura, man. It's undisputable. It's not up for debate. He's not a big aura guy. It's clear to see. Dricus du Plessis, he's a sloppy boppy guy. He doesn't have this cold stone technique like a I don't want to say like a Talbot, dude, because I'll get crucified, but like a Pereira. Pereira's a bit of a overperformer. I can't believe I didn't bring him up. He passed the aura limit, dude. That walkout with his signature walkout, the clear round 2 performance. He was just peaking at the wrong time. He got violently punished for passing the aura limit. And Dricus du Plessis, he's a funny guy. He's a cool guy like Bilal. I like Dricus more than I like Bilal, but he's too sloppy. He's not stone cold enough. He doesn't have the flatline KOs. Don't get me wrong. He's just it isn't the same. This guy's not aura, brother. This guy and Makhachev isn't aura either. So if I could do a DDP accent, I'd say you're not aura either, brother. I never said you were aura. So DDP, he's not an aura guy. No way. Magomed Ankalaev, again, smirky smirk guy. Smirky, Mr. Smirk. He's got finishes. He's a good striker. He's just a smirky guy. Smirk, Mr. Smirk, Mr. I don't know. This guy doesn't have it, man. He doesn't have the aura. He's cool. Again, he's cool. I like when he's playing the phone games at the press conference, dude. He's a cool guy. Everybody loves Big Egg. He's my favorite fighter. He's not my favorite fighter, but he's cool. He's a Mr. Smirk. He's a Mr. Smirk, and as we know, as I've established, the Mr. Smirk attitude is not conducive to having the most effective, easy to see aura. And moving up to the final weight class that I care about, I'm not going to be speaking about the women's divisions, but you can take that for what it is. Jon Jones, no aura, dude. He had aura. He had the Lyoto Machida sleeping up against the cage aura, but now he's cooked, man. He's cooked his own aura because he has fought Aspinall in 2 years, which is bullshit. But you've heard that from 100 million other MMA YouTubers, so I'm not gonna go through it. He's lost all his aura, and in the same sense, Tom Aspinall, he's too much of a humble guy. He's too much humble. He's too many humble guy. This guy is too many humble. So he's too nice. He's not abrasive enough. He's not as cold as these other guys are, but he's definitely cool. He's just not. He doesn't have the maxed out aura like other guys do. So, I mean, it's clear to see, man. It's clear to see. Tell me I'm wrong. Tell me I'm freaking wrong, dude. None of these guys are aura maxers. None of these champions are aura maxers, man. And it's even more conducive to the fact that these top aura guys, regardless of Alex Pereira, obviously he was the champion, but he got his comeuppance when he was peaking in aura. Post-war Roundtree, dude. When you peak in aura, you get punished. It's true. It's clear to see. It's clear to see. The MMA gods, they don't favor these aura guys. It's obvious at this point. Like, even, man, you get the point. Aura, it's an intangible. It's an intangible. These guys don't have it, and they also all happen to be champions. So I think that does contribute to the argument that these aura guys just aren't allowed to make it to the top level of the sport. With that, I think I will move on to section 3. I am sad to say that I think we're experiencing a bit of an aura drought in the UFC. We had a lot of aura prone guys coming up the ranks, but now they reach the aura limit, and the gods are sick, and they're not giving us the same type of prospects. However, one guy I am pretty keen on is Jacoby Smith. From my understanding, he wrestled at Oregon State or Oklahoma State, one of those colleges. But this guy coming in, he's begging for aura. I mean, he's not begging for aura in the sense that he's trying too hard or anything. He has the potential for a lot of aura. He's a shredded guy, crazy power. He has one fight in the UFC against Preston Parsons, absolutely slept Preston Parsons out cold, which is not an easy thing to do. Preston Parsons is a veteran. I think he only has a couple KO losses, but regardless, Jacoby Smith, he looks really good. He looks like someone who was going to stick around in the welterweight division, and by that nature, if he does stick around, I think he will have a lot of aura, and he might suffer the consequences that the other aura founding fathers did when they passed the aura limit. I'm worried about this guy. I'm a big fan of him. He followed me back on Instagram. He's a sick guy, awesome fighter. I'm really high on him coming into the welterweight division. I'm just worried. This guy could easily be swept, be shocked by the aura limit when he reaches a top 10 or a top 15 matchup, or even when he gets to express his personality. I'm sure he's a cool guy. I think he has sort of an effortless sort of aura, which is I mean, that's a good breeding grounds for aura as it is. So Jacoby Smith, sick prospect, awesome guy. I am just a little worried about him that he might be undertaken by the aura gods, man. The aura gods. They might rush him up, and the MMA gods might push him way back down. So let's hope that Jacoby Smith can make it to the top without experiencing too much aura. There's a ground where you need to stick in. Like, I think Jack Del Madalena sticks in that ground well, because he's a chill kind of guy. He's not a real intense kind of guy, or a real guy. He's not a guy who really shows off his personality that often. He's just kind of a really cool guy with a really cool fighting style, and he's sticking right under the aura limit. He's sticking right under the aura limit to where he can flourish, and I think that's where a lot of guys need to stay. Either way, Jacoby Smith, sick prospect, will be a good fighter at welterweight. I do have another couple fighters that I am pretty keen on as well to have aura symptoms in the future, so moving on to the next one. On the note of a more established prospect, Venicius Solivivera, sick fighter. He had that jaw-dropping KO over Bernardo Sopage. He's a lot closer to the top 15 than Jacoby Smith is at the moment, but he's got the same athleticism. He's got similar power. He's got that KO power. He had a great fight with Saeed Nurmagomedov, who is definitely a tough out at bantamweight. So Venicius Solivivera, he's nearing the rankings. He's come. I think he'll make it really far. But he has the recipe for aura, man. He's a sick fighter. He's a flashy guy. I think he has a little bit of an abrasive personality, so I think he'll have some good moments. But Venicius Solivivera, another guy I'm really high on, to the extent of which I think he could suffer from the same things that Jacoby Smith might suffer from, and be blocked by the MMA gods due to his breach of the aura limit, man. It's a real thing. It's worrying. It is worrying for these up-and-coming prospects, because, like I said with Jack Del Madalena, you have to stay under the aura limit or they're going to knock you down a peg. So Venicius Solivivera, another guy I'm super high on, another sick fighter. I think he goes far at bantamweight, honestly. I think he goes far at bantamweight until he breaches that OR limit, and that will be his downfall. On a similar note, coming up next, we have Mauricio Ruffy, a guy who has catapulted his way into my top 5 favorite fighters. This dude is just, of the fighting nerds, he's the most composed. Carlos Prates is maybe the most chill kind of guy. That's why he broke the OR limit so fast. But I mean, Mauricio Ruffy, I think he has the potential for the more flashy knockouts than Carlos Prates can have. I think he has the potential for, well, I don't know about English or any of that stuff or press conference behavior, but I think that Mauricio Ruffy has kind of he's shown something that he's shown a spark that we haven't seen at lightweight since Conor McGregor was in the lightweight division. He's just an awesome fighter, man. He's got there's no other way to say it. He's an amazing fighter. The personality is a bit lackluster, but I mean that's kind of it's a bit of the status quo with these really entertaining aura kind of guys. It's like he doesn't have much to offer because he can't communicate as clearly in English, but obviously a sick guy. I think probably out of these 3 guys, he is the most prone to breaking the OR limit because I think ultimately he'll make it the furthest. I think he will get a lot of great wins in lightweight division. I think he's an extremely skilled striker, even the likes of which maybe we haven't seen in the lightweight division before. He's a bit revolutionary in the striking game. He's really sick. Only a couple issues: his cardio, maybe his chin. He got knocked out on the regional scene a couple times. I've seen the videos on YouTube, but other than that, he has great potential to be a very exciting fighter for a long time. It's just, who knows whether the OR limit will fuck him up or not. It might fuck him up. It really could. He's really sick, and usually when I get this behind a guy, he takes devastating loss. So maybe Benny the Grandpa Dariush will sleep him over the top with a big right hand, but I'm going to cross my fingers and hope not, because I think he's a really cool fighter and someone who could easily breach the OR limit, which is a bad thing for your career. So he doesn't want to breach the OR limit, but I think he is definitely cool enough to breach the OR limit. So as we near the end of this video, I want to thank you guys for listening to me yap about something that I think, in a joking manner or in a serious manner, whichever way you interpret it, I think it's something that does have at least a tangible effect on the highest level of the sport. So again, thank you for watching. Any constructive criticism in the comments, I would be glad to listen. I want to learn. I'm new, so thank you for watching and have a nice day.